Hello, everyone. So, Fiona, you were over in Stirling recently, weren't you, for a particular event? Do you want to tell us a bit about it?
Yes, it was just Scottish history and culture, really. Yes, Stirling is 900 years old. The borough was founded by King David I in 1124. The walking of the marches happens every year, but it was much bigger this year because it was the anniversary. So there's a march that a lot of people took part in, and there was entertainment afterwards. So here is just a little summary put together from footage on the day. Hope you enjoy it. Hello and welcome to the celebration of 900 years of Stirling being a royal borough. Stirling was founded by King David I in 1124, so we thought it would be fun to take part in the 900-year celebrations, part of which was a public march called the Walking of the Marches.
Oh yes! Welcome!
Oh yes.
My name is David Smith, I'm the bellman. We're guests. 900 years ago, Stirling was declared a royal borough. Imagine that, 900 years ago, and you are the people who are gathered here today to celebrate.
Burlomen are elected, and their job is to go and check all the marches, which they did traditionally by turning over a clod of earth.
You mark them with a doubling of ducks.
And that's why the Burlomen in Stirling all carry ceremonial picks and shovels.
Young band of the Gaelic Southern Highlanders, Regimental Association, Stirling School, High Band, Combat International, who will entertain us with medieval warfare up at the top end of the town, and the Historia Normannis. And the Argyle and so on. Cadets, High Band!
As a bumblebee, did he kill it?
Brings the fight stuff.
Eagle-eyed viewers will spot me and my friend Lynn diving into the middle of the march. The history of march stones and the walking or riding of the marches in Scottish towns dates back many centuries. At a time when maps were almost unknown and perhaps not very accurate, the best way to mark an area and its boundaries was by easily recognised landmark and topographical details. So that might be rivers, streams, trees, ditches, hedges, etc. When these were not evident, a march stone would be used. And to make sure that these areas were not encroached upon, a regular inspection of the markers took place. In Stirling, this process is called the Walking of the Marches. The responsibility for these inspections fell upon the Guildry, the 7 incorporated trades and the Borough Council, and was conducted by them under the direction of the captain of the Burlomen. The Burlomen were representatives of the 3 agencies and would carry with them on the day a pick and a shovel, which was used to turn a ceremonial turf at each part of the borough boundary. We don't know exactly when the marches started in Stirling. The earliest reference is in the borough records in 1611. In Scotland, the earliest recorded reference is Selkirk in 1509. Stirling could well precede this date, being one of the earliest royal boroughs formed by David I, king from 1124 to 1153. The march arrived at the Stirling Smith Museum, where the Burlomen and the marchers and the bandsmen were all invited to have a nip of whiskey. Duly refreshed, they set off again, this time heading up the hill towards Cowane Hospital, where the procession concluded with entertainment. Historic Environment Scotland gave a gift of 5 march stones to the city of Stirling. And each stone is numbered. So number 1 marks the revival of the ancient custom of walking the marches. It's located in the grounds of the Smith Art Gallery Museum. Number 2 represents the 7 incorporated trades of Stirling and was placed outside of Historic Environment Scotland's engine shed. Number 3 was installed on the back walk next to the Albert Halls. Number 4 is the Gildry March stone and is at Cowane Hospital, and that stone celebrates 900 years of Gildry history in Stirling. And then number 5 was incorporated this May 2024 to commemorate the Royal Burgh of Stirling's 900th year and can be found on Dunburton Road opposite Allen Park and the historic back walk footpath. The significance of being a borough is that it elevated an existing settlement into something more distinctive. The king granted his burgesses or freemen privileges. These included holding their land and property directly from him, having the right to elect a council, holding their own court, levying local taxes and holding markets. So in many ways, the kind of local democracy that we have lost sight of, I think, in present-day Scotland with our huge regional councils. Entertainer for the crowd was named Adele. Not that one. Unfortunately, I didn't catch her surname and I can't find it in any of the references from Stirling Council. So if anybody knows, please let us know so we can give her some credit. She had a beautiful voice though and did 2 Scottish classics, iPhone Kiss and Caledonia.
Thank you guys, that was brilliant. Fighting goes on. There is a fantastic organisation. This one's Combat International, but I think you're connected with Clan Ranald, who are in our area in the valley nearby, and you guys appear in lots of movies, you might see that. So we're going to find out a little bit about how that happens. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to welcome Clan Ranald Combat International.
Want to see the fighting?
Thank you very much. As he says, we are Combat International. We are a stunt team for film and TV. Well, you might not know our names, you probably do know our work. We've been in everything from Outlander, Outlaw King, Last Duel, Gladiator, and quite a lot more. So today we're going to give you a little snapshot into how we build a fight for these nice big battle sequences that you see. Now, sometimes you get to go down and you get a little fight camp. Spend a few days, you learn, you rehearse, it's fantastic. Other times you turn up on the day, 5 minutes, let's go. So we're going to show you the latter today. And we're going to put something together on the spot. So that you know we've not rehearsed it, you're going to decide for me who wins each fight. So, unfortunately I'm a bit light on numbers today, so I'm going to be jumping down and jumping in myself. So do bear with me running up and down the stairs. So the first pair we're going to have is Mick and Burnsy. So when I say their names again, you're going to cheer if you want them to win the fight. Don't cheer if you want them to lose. Whoever gets a bigger cheer, they'll win the fight. Okay, so the first one is Mick. Mick, stick your hand up. Yay! Not convinced he's going to win it. And Burnsy. That's pretty foregone on that one. Burnsy, you're winning. Mick, you're taking a nap. Okay, and the other pairing will be myself and Guy. So if you'd like me to win, please shout. I think I'm going to die. And Guy. Fantastic. So what we're going to do is we're going to very, very quickly put together an 8-beat fight. A beat is just, you know, like in music or anything like that. So we all know roughly where we should be finishing. 8-9 beats for the kill.
3, 2, 1, action! I didn't see it, I had my hands over my eyes.
Okay, so as you notice, I still have 2 guys standing, and that's 1 too many. So I'll quickly though talk you through what Guy was saying about where's the camera. Now, when you're on set, there's generally 1 camera. Some directors, Ridley Scott, will have a lot of them, but they tend to face the same direction. So you know that when you're punching or stabbing each other, where you can safely do it. You may have noticed none of us actually hit each other. It would kind of be a long day if you were doing that. So what you do is you make sure that where you miss the blow is to the camera. So, Mick, can you go punch Guy in the face? And kind of do it round the clock face so we can see what we're talking about here. So start off facing this way. Just punch him in the face. For real? Right, so Guy, back to me. So right now I'm the camera. Mick's going to punch him in the face. And it looks like he's been hit, but he's not. He's been hit. Now turn and face. Yep, fantastic. Let's do that again. It's getting a bit closer every time. Now we're going to face it. That's it. And then finally, yep, one more time. There's 4 sides. And lovely. Okay, so that's a rough idea. That's what we're saying. Where's my camera? Where's my camera? So, we've now got 2 guys left standing.
Catch your breath!
Yeah, it's really difficult doing what I'd walk up the hill and everything's terrible. We now have 2 guys left. I would like 1 less than that. So again, we're going to vote on who's going to win. So if you want Burnsy to win, shout now. Very good. And if you would like Guy to win, shout now. Burnsy. Guy, yeah, let's go for Guy's going to win it. It's quite rare actually. Burnsy normally wins these. It's a crowd favourite. Yeah, you're going to ruin his day, so you have. Okay, so they're going to have a few seconds to put together the next little bit. I'm going to jump back down. We're going to do both parts of the fight together.
This is like the Scots version of WWE.
Okay.
I don't even know if they communicated with each other. I'm full of nervous tension. Okay. Yes.
What else are we taking off?
3, 2, 1, action! Combat International, everyone! Marching them up. Probably today is going to be returning to Stirling. They've been exciting as well. There they go.
And the baby cheese.
We need a drum beat.
That's in your bag.
That's good. And Ian, you're going to come and join me here and take over.
That'll be cool.
Splendid array. Now these were all carefully ironed this morning. Using electricity or no, using the old-fashioned method? Ian, do you appoint everyone from Historia Normannis?
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome here to the Holyrood Church and Cowane Hospital. I'm Ian from Historia Normannis, and we're here to bring you the people of Stirling of 900 years ago as we celebrate this historic day, this day in our shared history. So we're going to go through the people of Stirling so that you, the people of Stirling, can look back on our past and see where our future leads now. We are going to be covering everyone from the humblest farmer to the mightiest noble. I'm going to ask my members to step forward and we're going to teach you all about these individuals. Now, if I can get my farmers to step forward. Thank you. They're not very good at following orders. Now these are the common working people of Stirling. The people who grow the food. There you go, yeah, give them a clap.
There's our photo.
They grow the food, they build the houses, they clean the toilets. Without them, Stirling itself would not function. These are our shepherds. We have this gentleman here, this is lovely shepherd's crook. Doesn't that make you glad you're on a sheep? Now of course, sheep and cattle were vital to the life of borough towns like Stirling in the 1100s. Stirling was the centre for grazing from up and down the Highlands and Islands of Scotland. Livestock would be brought from across Scotland to our market. This is why Stirling was built as a borough. There of course had been a castle here, but the kings of Scots quickly realised, if people come and sell their stuff in my town, I can make some money. And so the shepherds were a big part of this, herding the cattle and the sheep, and having to cross pretty difficult country. So you can see here, he's got his nice bare legs there, because of course, bare legs are a lot easier to clean than nice wool trousers. He's also got this lovely phalanx. This is a poncho or hood. This is a garment we found in Scotland all the way back to before the Romans. We have records of the ancient Picts wearing these, but we also see them being worn by the brave Scots attacking Carlisle Castle. They started it, honest. So this keeps him dry when he's out there with his sheep and his cows getting absolutely soaked. Now next up we have this two gentlemen in lovely orange tunics. Next step forward please. They're a little bit more wealthy. These lovely orange tunics are made from kerns and other local dyes. They don't give you a bright red, but they give you this lovely earthy orange. Now you can see the gentleman on my left has his legs covered. This man is an Englishman. Hey, no, there's nothing wrong with that.
So
Now, these are the men who built a lot of the old houses in Stirling. They would build long narrow houses with very long fields at the back, which you can still see in the old street patterns of Stirling. Because even though we had our lovely farmers out in the fields, people still had to grow their own food. So we see even at this humble level of society, the poorest of people are from all over. They're coming together and making Stirling their home, their community. Now if my farmers would like to step back please. We're going to bring through our soldiers. Now here we have some of our brave fighting men, because of course Stirling in the 1100s to 12th century was a slightly more violent time than today. Not just fights between Scotland and England, but also fights between different parts of Scotland. some people would argue things haven't changed that much. Now these men have come from different parts of Scotland and from different backgrounds again. Our gentleman in the middle here is wearing a leather tunic. They're fighting in a very Scottish manner. Scotland, of course, as we've discussed, as I'm sure you all know, it's a very boggy, rocky, mountainous country in a lot of places. So being quick and mobile in a fight is better than being slow and dead. He's quite nimble here with his little round shield on his back. And his lovely big long knife. Because if you can stab the other chap before he stabs you, that's usually a pretty good strategy. Now, he's a lot more lightly armoured than our next gentleman with the banner here. This man is a Flemish mercenary. He's come from Flanders in what we now call Belgium and the Netherlands. Now he's got this big long spear because he's taken that concept of stabbing them a long time before they stab you to its natural conclusion. You can see our other warrior here just cannot reach him. Now of course he's more heavily armoured, but he's not having to move as quickly. It's men like him that 200 years afterwards will be fighting at Bannockburn, having adopted these big long spears and putting them to really effective use. Now these men would be manning the walls of Stirling alongside the common folk, often against people like our third fighter. This gentleman has come all the way down from the Highlands. You can see his round shield, the little cheek guards on his helmet. Doesn't he look a little bit like a Viking, folks? Because his ancestors were. He's descended from a mix of Scandinavian people and local Scots. Because the Vikings quickly realised when you try and steal things from Scotland, we're just as likely to steal them back. And so they settled down and made a life of it. Now these men were very effective fighters and mercenaries, but it also meant that sometimes the King of Scots' enemies would use them against him. So often Stirling had to face off against fighters and raiders just like this man. You can see he's a lot more mobile with his smaller shield and his light spear, but he's also got lots and lots of mail, this chainmail armour, these tiny little links of steel that knit together and keep him safe. This man is a fighting professional. And quite frankly, I don't think you'd want to meet him in a dark alley, would you? Well, thankfully, we're going to move on to some of our nicer denizens of Stirling. If I can get my soldiers to come back, please.
Here comes the church.
And we'll get our lovely middle-class people to come forward, please. Now, these three are the craftspeople, the merchants, the people who made the money that built Stirling, but also quite literally built Stirling. Our gentleman here on the left with the bright yellow tights, we call these hose, he's showing you how wealthy he is. He can afford these bright, offensively bright dyes from far away. He's bringing in ships that are coming all the way up the River Forth and bringing goods from France, from Italy, even from far away as North Africa and the Middle East. You can see he's got money. Look at all these pouches on his belt, ladies and gentlemen. He's not keeping snack well. He is keeping some snacks in there, but I'm sure there's a lot of money in there as well. Because men like him brought wealth to Scotland. We had no coinage before the 1100s. They were key in developing our economy, the money that built our town. But beyond that, we have stonemasons, like our individual in the middle here. She's not brought any stones with her. I'd like to see you dragging a big limestone block around the town all day. But she is a stonemason from Normandy in the north of France. The masons of Normandy had a lot of great experience working with their local limestone and building castles. You ever notice that England suddenly got a lot of castles after the Normans invaded? That wasn't a coincidence. Now, these Normans were also invited by kings like King David, who built and enlarged the castle at Stirling, who had the Holyrood Church built and extended over the generations. And they brought their stonemasonry traditions, mixing them with our traditional Scottish art styles and creating the unique and beautiful architecture that still surrounds us and underpins Stirling today. And finally, we have our local lady. Now this woman is a local Scot. You can see her lovely tartan cloak there. And of course, you can't have tartan if you don't have wool. She's been buying wool from our poor shepherd.
And that was where we had to leave the celebrations. But what a great day. Really enjoyed it. Hope you've enjoyed watching this. And if you have, please like it and share it.